Blessings to each and everyone. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. Well, today we have a video about a Jamaican lady who has been here for 36 years and she's now homeless. But before I get into that, this is one thing I want everyone to know. Not everyone who come to America, life story has been a beautiful Cinderella story. There's a lot of people who come here, everyone who come to this country, they all have a story. Some people's story are good, some people are bad. Some people, it is just a struggle from the start to the finish. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, it is like this. I met this lady on the street. I saw her one of the days. Always like see her, know she's homeless because normally when I say homeless people, I would always stop and give them something. But for this lady, always, stop. If I'm driving and see her, I would always like slow down. Sometimes give her like $2, $5, and so forth. And till one of the times she said thank you. All of the time she said thank you, and she said, may God bless you. And I said, thank you very much. I realized she's a Jamaican because I recognize her accent. Anyway, one of the day now I was walking and I saw her and I stopped to say, how are you? And she's saying that she's fine, etc. And I asked her if she had eaten from morning and she said no. So anyway, we were there talking and she was telling me a little about herself. And at that point in time, I gave her $20. Yeah, she could get herself some breakfast and maybe have a little change leave to get something in the evening. So while we were there having our conversation, I was asking her like, how is it that you end up on the street? It is now winter, so cold. Where do you sleep? And stuff like that. So she says it all begin like this. She was in Jamaica, not much wasn't going on. So, she applied for a visa, she got through because she have siblings that lives here and she got the visa. So she flew to America. Now, when she came here, she was staying by her sister and she happened to got a job. So when she get the job now, she was working and everything going on fine. Her sister, she was paying her sister rent for a room, the room that she was staying in. And everything was going on okay for her and stuff like that. She working, paying her rent. I enjoy the country and all of that. Life started to take a turn for her. Suddenly, one morning when she was going to work, she happened that she met into an accident. She was walking on the sidewalk, a car ran off the road and hit her off the sidewalk, right? So the car didn't stop. So she ended up in the hospital. She was in the hospital for probably 2 weeks, she said, or probably or more, right? One of her leg got damaged down to her ankle. It got serious damage, right? So I think she did a surgery on it as well. So she was in the hospital for a while. After she left the hospital and went back home where she was staying by her sister. The room that she was staying in at the time when she got back, there was somebody else in the room. So what she had to do was to stay in the living room in the couch, right? She was there in the couch and she said after a week, because her foot not so good and things, so she can't do much. She can't go to work as yet, etc. and things. So she said at that point she did apply to the government for a house. So I would assume that it was the Section 8 house maybe she applied for or some form of government house, she said. Anyway, she said according to it was going, she did almost got through with it and stuff like that. So while she was there staying in the couch, after a week, going in the second week, the sister husband was saying to her, the living room is getting full, the living room full up. So when are you going to get your place? She said from the sister husband said that she know what he meant. They don't want her there anymore because the fact that she not working, she not able to contribute to anything much inside the house, so they don't want her there. So she said, well, what she did was the next day she packed some of her stuff and she leave. And she was staying on the street with the intention of getting through with the house that she applied for. Go on and she check on it and they say, oh, you'd soon ready and stuff like that. Week pass, month pass, 2 months pass, 3 months pass, going like that. Still never get through with the house. So she on the street. So I was saying to her, so while you on the street, where do you sleep? But anyway, within the area, there are laundromats, right? She was staying on the street, on the sidewalk, bus station, and so forth. So there is a laundromat. The person who owned the laundromat, They saw her, had a talk with her, and they know her situation. So they allow her to stay within the laundromat at nights. And then in the morning, she would get out and stuff like that. So I'm saying, like, isn't it risky for you as a woman and stuff like that? She said, well, she don't worry about it because she don't have anywhere else. And, so I was saying, do you have any other siblings? She said, yeah, she have a brother. So I said, why is it you don't go and stay with your brother? She was like, oh, she don't want to go there and be any more problem to anyone. So she rather just stay out there and try and figure it out on her own. This is a woman who can't even walk well and she still want to figure it out on her own. Anyway, she go on until she was saying, she was there and from one laundromat to the other on the street. So I said, how do you eat? People will normally stop, give her something. Some people give her $1. Some people give her two or so forth. Sometimes somebody will give her something to eat, and that's how it is. So what she normally do, she would like save up some of those money, and when her clothes become dirty, she will just put the laundromat, wash it, and like in the summertime, she would stay in the park and she have one of those supermarket trolley. So she just put her clothes them on it and just stay one place and allow it to dry. So I was saying, damn, this is crazy. This is really crazy. This is a life where no one's supposed to go through, but these are the things that do happen in America. Anyway, I was saying to her, how long now since you are on the street? The woman looked at me and she smiled and she said, 30 years. 30 years. Right? And I'm like, damn. So I say to her, if you were in such a position where you got hurt, you're not able to work, why is it that you need to go back home? Because you are just here a few years now at the time when it happened. And she said, well, when she leave the family house, come here, then at that point in time, she knows that the house are fully occupied, so there wasn't gonna be any much space. So I said it would still be better if you go back home where family will be there to help you instead of stay here on the street living like this. She said, well, that's true, but it done happen already and so forth. So I said to her, are you a citizen? She said, no, but she had a green card and things. So I say your green card up to date because the fact that she on the street for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So she said, well, she did supposed to go and pick up the green card, but she didn't get to. And I'm like, oh, you're supposed to pick up your green card and you didn't get to. Because that's a legal document. You understand? So I started to think to myself and I'm wondering, was it a case that she really had a green card for true? But one thing I can tell you, not everyone in this country will tell you that they are illegal. Some will say they have their green card. Some will say they soon get their green card and stuff like that because not everyone wanted to know their full status. So it's only a few people will have and you ask them and they will say, well, oh no, my thing not so right. Only some people can say, so my thing not so right, but we'll get it together soon. And stuff like that. And it happens as people always give our things and so forth. So someone bought her some roll-on, some Crocs slippers, and some little face rag where she have now where she sit down and she sells something. You see her by a supermarket, any local plaza or so forth, she will just sit there and to sell to make $1 instead of everyone have to keep stretching them hands to her. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. But it is very sad to see a Jamaican woman, living in that kind of condition and on the street because it is very cold. This winter was serious. You know what I mean? Many places go below zero. The lowest I see it went from winter start, I think it was maybe 5 degrees. And that's very cold for someone to be outside, not living anywhere. You know what I mean? And it's just set away. So it is just to let everyone know there are crazy things that happen to people in this country. And not everyone did have it smooth sailing. Some people really struggling a whole lot. And she's just there on the street. And according to her, she looked like she in her 60s. She looked like she in her 60s. And from time to time, I will see her, I will give her a 10, give her a 20, but not regular I do see her. You understand? At one point, I was asking her if she want me to check and see if we can find a shelter where she can go. And she was like, oh no, she soon get through with the house. She still have that thing in her head. You know what I mean? But as I said, you cannot force a one to do something that they don't want to because there are other people who will probably willing to help, and I could also go and check for shelter where she could go and stay. But sometimes not everyone wants to go to any shelter, you know what I mean? And that's just it. So sometimes you come, just some simple things, and your whole life just go downhill just like that. And one thing I can tell you, not every friend who you have here as a friend is really a friend to you. Not every family member is a true family member to you. Not every spouse you will have is a spouse to you, really. It's like some situations, some people just don't want to see anyone with anything. Some people just don't want to see you strive. You have family member, they will love to see their family member rise to the top. You have some family member, they just don't want to see you have anything. They don't want to see you rise. You have friends who will help you to get there. And you have some friends, they will see you getting there and they will do anything to pull you down from there. The struggle is real in this country. Same like we would normally say in Jamaica. The struggle is real. You know what I mean? And it's no joke. It's just no joke. People think it is all smooth sailing. No, it's not. It's not. A lot of time you see people come in Jamaica on vacation, you see they all dressed up, having some fun time for that 1 week. But as soon as they come back to this country, they go right back to the slave line and join it and keep going round and round. It's just from one job to the other. Some people have to do 2 jobs. They don't do 2 jobs because you want to say, oh, they're making a lot of money. No, they have to do 2 jobs just to, and sometimes it's still not enough by the end of the month to pay their bills. And that's just the real truth, because not everyone have a corporate job. Not everyone making big money. Some people working $16 an hour, $15 an hour, $17 an hour, and you're only entitled to work 40 hours with some companies. You know what I mean? So check it up, and then tax come out of that, how much you make for the month. But that's just the real thing about America. And some people never tell you, but the struggle is real. You know what I mean? And it is just so sad to see how this lady is really living. And she clearly probably don't really want any help, because when I asked her about the shelter, that was the answer she gave. So from time to time, I will see her selling her stuff. I will just pay for a few things and say, when somebody stop by, you can just give it to them. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. I don't share this video just to let you know things really do happen to people. People will hear this story and think it is fake story. No, it's not fake. It's real. And it is just because sometimes you still want to protect some people's privacy. Otherwise, I could probably I could take a picture of her and show you, but I'm not going to show you anyone just like that. But just to let you know, things like these do happen. And people who visit this country and living in this country, they understand and they know. But if you've never been here, you will hear things, but you're not going to understand everything. But anyway, we're just going to leave it right here. Don't want to bore you anymore. And if you're far in the video, please go ahead. You can hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and we will see you in our next video. And as we would always say, if it ain't green, it ain't we. Yes, sir.